You're in a bustling New York office, mid-January, watching Sophia, a sharp project manager. She just nailed a high-stakes presentation but notices her team's tension instead of applause. Everyone's smart, talented, but something's off. Why can someone be so intellectually gifted yet fail to connect? This puzzle, how managing emotions trumps raw brain power, is the secret emotional intelligence cracks. What if being bright is actually a blind spot? Hold that thought. Sophia's story isn't unique. We mistakenly worship IQ like a golden ticket. But what breaks careers, friendships, and dreams? Not smarts, but emotional blind spots. Let's unpack why emotional intelligence steals the spotlight. Sophia crushed her data-heavy presentation. Numbers were perfect, charts crystal clear. Yet as she wrapped up, the room sat silent, faces distant, no applause, no questions. Her team respected her intellect but felt disconnected. Why? They lacked that emotional bridge she never built. That moment exposed the flaw beneath sheer IQ, sparking her quest for emotional savvy. Think of IQ as your computer's hardware, fast, powerful processor. EQ. That's the software guiding how all programs run. Without smooth software, even the strongest machine crashes or freezes. Emotional intelligence processes feelings like code, telling you when to pause, load empathy, or reboot your reactions. It's the invisible script that makes intellect usable in real life. Once Sophia learned to tune into emotions, hers and others, everything shifted. She went from delivering facts to inspiring teams. Suddenly doors opened, collaborations deepened. Smartness alone never got her this far. EQ turned her potential into influence, proving emotional skills aren't fluff, they're the engine of achievement. Now that IQ's backup plan is EQ, how do you spot where you stumble emotionally? What subtle traps sabotage your best efforts before you even notice? This section is your emotional radar upgrade. Jake is a top sales director in Chicago. When things go sideways, his temper flares big time. But that fury doesn't inspire, it alienates. One day a key client dumped his team, citing lack of empathy. Jake's outbursts were his worst enemy, though he never saw it. That blind spot cost him millions in trust. His story shows how unchecked feelings turn winners into isolation. Picture emotions like warning lights on a dashboard. They flare red not just for danger but sometimes for minor bumps or misread roads. If you treat every signal as a crisis, you slam the brakes unnecessarily. Emotional intelligence teaches you to decode these signals, calm the alarm or respond swiftly, rather than reacting blindly. Those lights aren't enemies, they're guides. When Jake started journaling his triggers and feelings daily, he unlocked a new power: self-awareness. He learned his anger masked frustration and fear of failure. Awareness became his emotional GPS. It pointed out detours, rerouted reactions, and helped him steer calm when his old wiring screamed fight. Just knowing your emotional map transforms chaos into choice. Emotions hit like waves, sometimes sudden, sometimes tidal. How do you not just survive the storm but flip the switch to calm or confidence? Meet emotional regulation, your secret mood hacker. Emma, a public relations exec in Seattle, felt her heart pound and breath shorten right before a major client pitch. Past nerves had tripped her into freezing or blabbering. This time, she took a slow breath, counted to 5, and shifted focus to the story, not the fear. The pitch went smooth. That moment wasn't luck. It was learned self-control in action, flipping panic into power. Think of emotions like a radio playing a song. Emotional regulation is your ability to turn the volume up, down, or change stations as needed. Too loud and you're overwhelmed, too quiet and you're numb. Mastering this dial means you choose your feelings' intensity, not be a hostage to it. You control the soundtrack of your mind. The payoff? Emma went from being hostage to her feelings to their conductor. She didn't suppress stress but managed it like a seasoned DJ, knowing when to fade in confidence or mute self-doubt. This emotional skill doesn't remove hard moments but transforms how you live through them. More calm, more clarity, more command. If managing yourself is pillar one, reading others is pillar two. How do you tune into silent signals people broadcast? Discover emotional perceptions wizardry that rewires your social radar. Mark, a London-based marketer, tried pitching new ideas but kept hitting walls. Clients nodded, smiled, yet never signed. Later, a coach pointed out that Mark missed micro-expressions, the tiny flashes of doubt or hesitation barely anyone notices but everyone feels. That revelation transformed his approach. Reading those subtle signs helped him adjust his pitch, live, and win loyalty. Micro-expressions are like secret Morse code your brain throws out at lightning speed before words catch up. A brief furrowed brow, a pressed lip, a half smile. They reveal what someone really feels beneath polite facades. Emotional perception trains you to catch these whispers and translate them into meaningful insights, turning social guesswork into a sharp skill. Mark's new empathy skills didn't just close deals, they built trust. When you see beyond words and truly feel what others feel, your response feels genuine, not scripted. Empathy creates a magnetic pull that turns clients into lifelong partners and coworkers into collaborators. It's the invisible glue of successful relationships. You've glimpsed your emotional hurdles and strengths. Now what? Knowledge without follow-through isn't power. Time to embed emotional intelligence into your daily grind and watch life change. Marie, a teacher in Denver, started small. Every morning she paused to name her feelings and set a mood intention. After tough parent meetings or staff conflicts, she reflected on what triggered her and why. This daily emotional workout rewired how she handled stress and connected with students. Consistency, not grand gestures, rewrote her emotional story. Think of feedback like fertilizer for your emotional garden. It might sting, smell odd, or seem annoying, but without it, growth stalls. Emotional intelligence invites you to seek honest input, absorb it without defense, and use it to prune outdated patterns. This habit turns criticism into continual development. Marie's transformation proves it. High EQ isn't a trait you're born with, it's a muscle you build. Daily emotional check-ins, active listening, and openness to feedback create ripples. From calmer mornings to stronger bonds and bigger wins, emotional intelligence is your most sustainable success hack. Remember Sophia, rattled but brilliant in that chilly New York meeting. Now imagine she's breezing through her next presentation, not just smart but tuned into her team's feelings, adapting on the fly, inspiring trust effortlessly. That's emotional intelligence in motion. It's less about flashy tricks and more about pausing to feel, reflect, and respond with awareness. Tonight, try this. Next time you feel a strong emotion, pause, name it out loud, and ask what it's trying to tell you. That tiny habit rewires your emotional future from the inside out. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.